Okay, today we're talking about a brand new fragrance. I love talking about brand new fragrances. This is coming from the house of Zaharoff. Sent this to me, easy for me to get that out the way. I have an affiliation with the brand. I put out a fragrance with the brand. Many of you already know that. If you don't know that,
you must be new here.
Make sure you subscribe.
We're talking about Signature Citrine. You're gonna see some beautiful B-roll that's much more effective than what I can show you here in front of the camera. And I have another segment coming after this where I actually smelled it for the first time. I've already smelled this yesterday, but I filmed that yesterday with Grace. And that is my true first impression. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna show you that segment. You'll see what Grace and I first felt about it, what we had to say about it when we first sprayed it, and then we'll come back. I'm gonna give it that full wearing, and then I'll come back again later with the final update. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
This is really quick, super lo-fi on my phone. We have the newest from Zaharoff. This is called Signature Citrine. Okay. So it's timely for the upcoming summer, as you can imagine by the name, by the packaging and all this, and I'll have better footage, citrus based in some way for sure. I mean, just look at the detailing. That's just gorgeous.
It's so stunning.
Yeah, and George is all about details. So I haven't smelled this yet. You haven't smelled it yet. Haven't even lifted the box.
Wow.
But here's the bottle.
Have you seen it?
No.
Wow, this is
I mean,
so
I've seen like a
pretty.
picture online, but this is it. Isn't that beautiful?
That's so beautiful.
Got the green cap. He's really getting the rainbow. Okay, so very clear. We can see just like total transparent. This is probably going to be a fresher option. Figured I'd just put it on my hand. I'll be the guinea pig, and you can just, we'll see how it does.
So exciting.
You're ready. Now, I technically have smelled this like a year ago, but I think it was a different version of it. It may have been altered, and it was just from a little sample. Can already smell it, right?
It's coming towards us, yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
That is some pretty photorealistic citruses. I feel like it's multiple all at once.
Yeah.
Maybe a mandarin or
Or
something.
grapefruit,
Yeah, there's a bitterness, but there's also like a juicy sweetness. I get something a little bit green floating around in there, almost herbal.
Yeah. Very green, very fresh.
Very, very fresh. Now, I know, admittedly, you are usually not one who cares all that much for fresh, citrusy fragrances as much as you do for some of the warmer, deeper, spicier, tobacco, earthy stuff, right? You said they typically don't move you. I'm not really expecting this to be an exception, to just move you, but if you had to rate it, how would you rate it? On the opening, on my skin, up close.
It smells amazing, honestly.
Really?
Yeah, it smells really good.
You can tell there's more going on to it.
There's some depth to it. It's definitely opening as it rests.
Yes, definitely.
It's really bright, happy,
Yes.
juicy, but there's like a dustiness.
There is something kind of earthy in the background. I think with some heat, this thing is gonna blossom.
It's gonna be amazing.
This is gonna be a great hot weather, like high heat, middle of the day kind of fragrance. I would say because it's citrus heavy, it's probably gonna be more casual, not something to really dress up, but maybe some kind of outdoor.
Summer night.
Hey, summer night too. I think, knowing George and what he really puts into these fragrances in terms of concentration, this is not going to be a 5-hour scent. This thing, I think, is going to last at least 8+ hours, which is asking a lot for a citrus fragrance.
fresh.
But he doesn't hold back. His fragrances are usually pretty robust. Obviously, your mileage will vary because everyone's different, but he's at least giving you the percentage. So the rest is up to you and your skin. But that's a little first impressions
I love it.
of Signature Citrine. I will be coming back in probably just a second for you, but it'll be more like, 18 hours for me. Because I'm not doing that right now. We're gonna eat dinner, but good to see you guys.
Great to see you.
Thanks for tuning in. Grace, thanks for your opinion.
I didn't rate it, but I think 8.
So far.
8's what I would give it.
Okay, so we'll give it
the
that full
opening,
wearing.
yeah.
But that's a solid opening, especially
It's
for
really
a citrus
nice.
scent.
Yeah.
Would you wear it?
Yeah.
There you go. See you guys later. Now, This is not the most optimal day to give it a full wearing. It's sunny and beautiful outside. I'm gonna actually go for a walk after I sprayed this on, but I wish it was a little bit warmer. I feel like this thing is really gonna pop with some heat, so I don't feel like I'm gonna get the full effect here. But obviously we can revisit it once the summer rolls in. So for now, let's give it the full wearing. I think we're gonna go with at least 5 sprays. So I'm gonna do my usual 2 behind each ear, 1 on the back of the neck, and then 1 inside each collar. With the collared shirt, that is. Man. So this is my first time giving it the full wearing, really smelling it in the air with multiple sprays and not just up close on my hand. By the way, it was on my hand until this morning. So what I get at first, I get this like iced, cooling, fresh mandarin orange. There's an icy quality to it. There's something cold, almost like an orange otter pop, if you can imagine that. It's sweet, it's juicy, it's mouth-watering, it's bright. There's a little bit of a tart quality, but mostly sweet at first. Some green herbaceousness hovering around in there. And I don't really get much of the base notes just yet. In fact, they don't really start coming out until a little bit later, like the incense and the woods and things like that. And the resins, all that comes later. And it smells wonderful on the skin, which I will tell you about a little bit later in the video. But for now, as I'm moving around, yeah, it's just a gorgeous, bright, fun, authentic, realistic citrus fragrance. Again, a little bit on the sweeter side. So again, I'm gonna spend the whole day with this scent. I will come back later on tonight. It'll be a second for you, but it'll be several hours for me to give you my final update of how I think it behaved, again, even in this not so optimal condition. So, more to come with Zaharoff Signature Citrine. See you in a sec. I don't know exactly how long it's been, but it's been some time. It's been at least 9 hours. Something like that. The day has gone by. It's been a very busy day. I've just been working at home on a lot of different things, just checking off a to-do list. And I want to come back to you with an update on Signature Citrine, the fragrance right here. And overall, it was kind of what I expected based on what I said earlier about the weather. It was a little cool today. It didn't really get up past 51 degrees or so Fahrenheit. So I did go outside. I went for a walk. It was kind of chilly, so I wasn't really smelling it outside. Again, there was no heat to truly activate it. And then even when I spent the day inside, I actually had some trouble smelling it around me. I wasn't really getting any wafts. It's still here. It's still on my hand. It's very soft, and it's honestly probably going to be here until tomorrow, but it's very soft. It doesn't have a big presence. I do feel like this fragrance needs some warmth. Now, there's a lot here. There's a lot going on. It changes quite a bit. You do have, again, that myrrh, you have sandalwood, you have oud, and you have frankincense. There's a lot going on down here. You know, this base is kind of iconic. Obviously, it's not super well known, and it's not all that old, but it is one thing that is a through line in all of these signature fragrances from Zaharoff. It's something that I love. It is the DNA of these fragrances, and it's unmistakable if you know his fragrances. So I'm reminded of something like Royale X in terms of the deep dry down, that soft, kind of sensual, woody musk. Nowhere near as musky as that. That one is a little bit more enhanced on the musks, on a little bit of this animalistic feel. This is not that. It still retains a little bit of a very soft sweetness, but it's not fresh, it's not citrusy at all. All that, of course, evaporated. It does get very sensual and smooth and subdued. Again, I think it's going to behave differently in the heat and the summertime, which I really look forward to. So right now, I can't say that the performance is great. I can say longevity is there, but in terms of getting that presence, you're probably going to want to spray this on in the heat. I ended up actually spraying on a few additional sprays after you saw me spray on camera. I think total on camera I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. After I turned the camera off, I did 1 more on the back of the neck, and I did 2 on the hand so I could keep track. And even on the hand with 2 sprays, I was having a hard time smelling it. Even up close, it was very soft. But it was cold today again, which makes my skin a little dry. And I was even looking at my hand. I'm like, oh, you know, the back of my hand's a little dry. So I do think that affects the fixative nature of the fragrance. It didn't really have anything to hold on to be present and to have strength. So more to come on this fragrance. I really enjoy the scent. It is great quality, bar none. Like all Zaharoff's fragrances, he's using the highest quality ingredients in these fragrances, and they are masterfully created by perfumer Claude Deer. Scent wise, beautiful, but of course I know you guys want it to last, you want it to be present, and I think we'll want to wait for some heat. So I will return to you later on as the summer approaches to see how this guy behaves with some warmth. Anyway, those are my first impressions on Zaharoff Signature Citrine. Again, more to come. I don't know exactly when you're going to see this video, but I'm pretty sure by the time you see it, I will have done a live stream with Ross and with George Zaharoff talking about the fragrance. So if you missed that, make sure you check that out. It'll be linked somewhere. I'm sure it'll be a good time because it always is. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in. Peace. And there's a link down below in the description to buy this fragrance. I'll see you in the next one.